What is up, my Ammonites? It is your boy, Yengai, and welcome back! And boy, has it been quite a week, and yeah, it's finally done! And we're trying out a different system, because stream has been really weird and very wonky as of late. Yeah, I can literally see on YouTube right now, for some reason, it is not doing anything properly. For some reason. I don't know what is going on, but we're gonna have to go ahead and work with it. But with that being said, I'm thinking about doing a little something interesting, so we can do some reaction videos for you guys. So let's have a look at what we got here so far. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I was definitely saving this one for later for you, because I just saw this today. Let me do my intro real quick. Can we successfully domesticate the king of the dinosaurs? Can we tame the T-Rex? Goji Center has a little bit of an answer for us, so we are going to go ahead and find out. But before we do that, as always, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to become a Lucky Ammonite today. With that being said, let's take a deep dive into this, shall we? Let's figure out the scenario.
Could humanity take control of one of the greatest land predators that ever lived?
Oh! They would be called dragons! Oh!
To get into the biological details of none other than the Tyrannosaurus Rex and see if we can turn this dude into man's best friend. Or we could just be making the biggest mistake of our lives.
Possibly! But we're gonna find out anyway!
True domestication.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta pause right here, cause, you know, back in the olden days when we found dinosaur fossils, before the name dinosaur was even a thing, people actually used to believe dinosaur bones, mammoth bones, etc., used to belong to giants. And yes, dragons. Even to this very day, fossilized bones are considered dragon bones in Chinese tradition. So, this is going to be quite interesting. Will the T-Rex even be called a T-Rex? At least in modern times, if this were the right scenario? Or would we see that the name Dragon would be fitting here?
Act of genetically modifying an animal so it can behave and thrive alongside humans. Sounds really cool and all, but this isn't something every species can undergo. There are several key traits that already need to be baked into a species to make remodeling it from a wild beast to a beast of burden even more feasible. For our scenario, let's assume that Tyrannosaurus Rex and a reasonable amount of other dinosaurs just went on existing after the Cretaceous across time and into the rise of humanity without changing into a new species. This keeps everything simple and means our ancestors from cavemen all the way up through the ice, stone, bronze, and iron age had to coexist with such terrifying theropods. After witnessing their prowess, their power, and fear.
If you remember this video that I reacted to a long time ago, be sure to check that one out, cause that's gonna be in the link in the description below as well.
The Tyrant Kings could inflict hunting big game and going toe-to-toe with the mightiest mammals that ever existed. Someone might have inevitably had the big brain moment of trying to figure out if they could turn this dangerous foe into a friend and turn Primal into a documentary.
Imagine!
He has to check all the boxes if he's going to ride into battle with humanity, let alone hang around our kids. So let's take a look at the first necessary trait for domestication. Condition number 1, intelligence. Living around humans means you need to be aware that these little bipeds are humans, a completely separate species that you now coexist with and tolerate at times. There's a good reason we domesticated things like dogs and sheep instead of snakes and jellyfish. Would a Tyrannosaurus be smart enough to acknowledge a human as anything other than potential food? Yes, actually. The specific
It's a surprise.
is a subject we may sadly never fully understand. We'll never grasp the full extent unless we invent a time machine and acquire some fresh brains to look at. That said, one of the reasons dinosaurs were once thought of as very unintelligent was the assumption that brain-to-body ratio was the sole most important factor in determining intelligence.
But little did we know that connectivity was the key to intelligence. It's all in the wrinkles, baby. And of course, now we've got, yeah, you know, I actually kind of saw that we are trying to domesticate, lions and other big cats. Obviously not successful, but the fact that those large predators could be tamed, that speaks volumes.
This logic works when you're comparing two members within the same group. A quick example, a human and an orangutan can have roughly the same body mass, but the human brain is roughly 3 times the mass and volume of our fellow great ape. Orangs certainly aren't dumb, but humans clearly possess higher intelligence than our simian cousins. If brain-to-body ratio was actually a fully reliable method of determining intelligence, we'd think, this T-Rex doesn't look that smart. But here's something about brain sizes you might find interesting. So the amount of brain power needed to control a 2-pound body and a 2-ton body isn't really all that different. This is why the animals with the proportionally largest brains aren't necessarily the smartest, but they are the smallest. Things like kangaroos and even ants have way bigger brains compared to their tiny bodies than humans do to our bodies. So, we can get some idea of how intelligent a Tyrannosaurus was by instead looking at the absolute size of its brain compared to other dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, it might be exaggerated that the T-Rex is supposed to be as intelligent as a chimpanzee in recent theories. But, in my personal opinion, I would say it's at least as intelligent as a wolf, or at least as smart as your average lion. 'Cause, I mean, if you're gonna be an apex predator, you gotta know how to take out your prey. And your prey is heavily armored. So, there's definitely that.
And with a brain volume somewhere between 200 to 250 cc, the Tyrant Lizard King actually has a fairly large one, by animal standards, at roughly the same as a tiger's. And as a predator that had to figure out strategies to safely hunt prey over decades of a lifespan, with some specimens giving clear proof that they did exceptionally well at this, there's lots of evidence indicating that T-Rex had both brains and brawn.
That's a requirement in the wild.
Tyrannosaurus was roughly as intelligent as some modern-day predatory animals like canines, and carnivorous dinosaurs like eagles, both of which have shown more than enough intelligence to cooperate very well with human companions and trained to do some pretty complex tasks. So it's fair to say a Rex would be a sharper tool in the shed than some animals humans have domesticated, like doves and chickens. So T-Rex meets the first criteria.
Well, there you have it.
Tie into the next domestication trait.
This could.
Condition number 2: social hierarchy.
This is a difficult one.
Along with other things, then how do you expect to get along with humans? So, purely solitary animals, especially extremely territorial and aggressive ones, are almost impossible to domesticate. This specific behavior is something that can change very drastically even between closely related animals. We'll use a quick example before we go back to T-Rex. Humans have coexisted with species of zebra like Equus quagga for hundreds of thousands of years longer than we have horses, Equus ferus. So, why didn't humans come riding out of Africa on the backs of zebra before the end of the Ice Age? It almost all comes down to social behavior. Horses and zebras both form herds, but horses follow a hierarchy. The leader of the herd is the oldest and most experienced female called a matriarch. Her chief lieutenant to keep the herd peaceful
The stallion
is her oldest son. So one of the ways humans domesticated horses was getting the trust of the matriarch. So she would follow the humans, and later on, human keepers could assume a hierarchy role as well. An organized herd can become a domesticated herd.
Or, in the case of the Rex, a lion pride. That's something interesting. I just wanted to throw that out there. If we're seeing that dynamic, yeah, I totally see it.
In contrast, zebras Zebra herds, on the other hand, are pretty much just a stallion loosely grouped with a harem of mates, or just mobs that stick together just for safety against predators. Not much leadership is happening here, and every zebra looks out for themselves. And if they don't even follow their own kind much, they would never listen to a human. Following a hierarchy is something that's flat out essential for coordinating especially big and potentially dangerous animals like camels and cattle. And in this case, T-Rex. What did Tyrannosaurus have? This is one of those times where the fossil record is more of a Rorschach test.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Plenty of indicators that numerous Tyrannosaur species were social. Multiple individuals found together at the same site, different age groups feeding on the same carcass as shown by shed teeth and teeth marks, and a prolonged childhood, which would be useful for giving them time to learn from their elders. Some species were probably solitary, and some were social. But if they did, it would probably resemble a modern pack of hunting dinosaur, Harris's hawk. One of the larger species of hawks, Harris's hawk organizes in family units like wolf packs, more or less. And, throw any nonsense you heard about alpha, beta, and omega wolves out the window. That was disproven decades ago. Wolf and hawk packs are family units led by the parents with their growing children. The kids of prior years stick with their parents to grow up, learn techniques, and gain experience helping care for future offspring, babysitting their younger siblings, before they find their own mate and start their own pack. So, given this simple structure and...
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, let's see. So, let me get this straight. Male and female make a pack. They make pups. Pups grow up. Kids learn from alpha learn from mom and dad on how to hunt. Kids help babysit the pack until eventually they get old enough to fend for themselves. And in turn start another pack. That's interesting. Yeah. Sorry to break it to you, red pillars, but that alpha wolf thing ain't working here.
How several fossil sites show young and old tyrannosaurs together. If there was any major social hierarchy in the tyrant reptiles, it was probably a bit like this. Young tyrant lizard kings sticking with their parents until grown. Let's give the benefit of the doubt and assume Tyrannosaurus was like this. And there might even be a way to play the system to get them on the side of their human companions. Many bird species imprint on the source of noises they hear inside the egg before hatching and the first thing they see after hatching. If T-Rex had something similar, it might be possible that a human who finds, cares for, and is present for the hatching of a Tyrannosaurus egg would be mistaken for the egg's parent by the hatchling. No, seriously, what you saw in Dawn of the Dinosaurs could have more or less happened if Sid was human. But it would still take 3 decades for that juvenile to even grow close to full size. But
yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Establishing themselves as the parent substitute might just work to satisfy this necessity for domestication. But, about that growth.
Yeah, there's still mom and...
For domestication, it may or may not all fall apart right here. Condition 3.
Yeah.
Growth.
That's gonna be a problem.
To grow up fast. Not only does this make them more immediately useful for their human handlers, but it also means they need a lot less resources to reach that size. Cause let us remind you that you're the one raising this fella. This is domestication after all. Small carnivorous dinosaurs like Velociraptor probably reached adult size within the first few years of life. The largest modern dinosaur, and one that is farmed, the ostrich, is practically full-grown within their first year. For domestication to work back in the days before genetic engineering, quicker growth means quicker generational turnover. The quicker you get those offspring to adulthood, the quicker you can figure out which ones have the right...
Yeah, and what would be the stage looking like?
Proper attention and social habits. Those will be the stock you will need for breeding the next generation to promote those traits more and more. The seasoned ARC players amongst the audience also have experience breeding the Rexes with the best stats. So, almost the same concept here.
I mean, it
Domestication
makes sense.
is essentially genetic engineering, just done naturally, without using advanced technology to manipulate the genome in just the right way. As Dr. Wu himself put it, genetically there's very little difference between a wolf and a bulldog. But that tiny difference makes all of the difference as to why we can trust some of our canine companions far more than we can their wild cousins. It's also necessary to have the young grow up fast, so traits like aggression and seeing humans as potential prey could be spotted early and weeded out. A more powerful and aggressive tyrant reptile might sound cool on paper, but would just be a liability being anywhere near its handlers. And that's where we run into our first issues. Tyrannosaurus might have taken nearly 30 years to reach full size. And when it does, behaviors might change too much once it reaches.
There it is!
Remember how we said wolves often leave their home pack when they start their own family? Well, if you had a Tyrannosaurus that was raised from infancy and remained tame as it grew, seeing its human handlers as its parents, that might change if it starts its own family. The instincts to go out and strike up its own social hierarchy and raise its own offspring might cancel control its human handlers would have on it. For example, attempts at taming spotted hyenas have...
Yeah, those things are impossible.
Especially grow far too aggressive when they seek to establish their own clan, and even more docile male hyenas often have to be given suppressants to stay calm. A previously tamed T-Rex might also perceive other humans that didn't raise it as threats to its offspring and lash out. This is the big difference between domestication and taming. Domestication means genetic changes to the DNA-affected behavior and appearance of an animal so that it instinctively reacts differently around humans.
And what purpose?
Passed down from parent to offspring. Taming, on the other hand, only involves changing the behavior of one single animal by trial and error. You might be able to tame a timber wolf, but it won't be as loyal, trainable, or safe as a well-trained dog, nor will it pass those traits on to its offspring. This is why trained elephants are just tame, even after thousands of years of working with humans, not domesticated. If left to their own devices and behaviors, those elephants don't act any different than wild elephants. It might be possible to tame and train a Tyrannosaurus, and ancient civilizations in this scenario might be able to pull it off if they had enough resources and time for such a costly venture
Yeah.
and enough volunteers. But if we couldn't domesticate elephants, not much of a chance here. Tyrannosaurus is just too big, spends too much of its life potentially very dangerous to
And
humans,
powerful.
and that social hierarchy might get upended every generation. But there might be a solution. So we're not the ones to just leave a fun scenario like this at a no and walk away. Remember how we said there are other tyrannosaurs out there. Smaller and more manageable species like the recently vindicated Nanotyrannus might be promising. Nanotyrannus hails from the same fossil formation and time.
There's also the Gorgosaurus.
Rex survived into the time of early humans. In this scenario, this fellow would too. Two species of Nanotyrannus are known. Nanotyrannus
Huh.
and Nanotyrannus lethaeus. These are smaller tyrannosaurs, as the name implies, between 5 and 6 meters long and weighing in somewhere between 800 and 1,500 kilograms, depending on which measurement or study is used on what species. The 2025 study that helped prove these were indeed their own species also give a lot of insights to their unique biology. At a fraction of the size, but with a very developed brain, Nanotyrannus was probably about as smart as its larger cousin. But it was much quicker on its feet, very agile, and would grow to full size much faster than a Rex would. Now, in the wild, these would be absolutely lethal to humans, given we would be right smack in the range of prey they would like to target.
Yeah. Those would be dangerous wyverns.
Big-brained idea to exploit it, they might be onto something. These species are far easier to house and feed, grow up faster, and are just as likely to have a usable social hierarchy as their bigger cousins. It might start out small, with weak, young individuals being cared for by human handlers. Trying to brutalize them into service would get you killed, but careful rearing could create loyalty. If individuals were docile enough, they could be raised to adulthood and paired off with other calm individuals. Being much smaller, they could be more easily contained and persuaded away from going aggressive when they reproduced. Generation by generation, growing up nearly twice as fast as the Rex, sorting out dangerous individuals amongst the nanos would be a lot easier and quicker to ensure the next generation is even more amiable to humans. If this sounds similar to what Hoskins wants
Yeah.
to do with the raptors, it's because this is the exact process used to domesticate small wolves into dogs. The problem that idiot ran into was mistaking taming for domestication and trying to push things way too fast. And well, look where that got him.
Yeah.
It would take
I guess you could say he was pretty disarmed on the idea.
but the results could be astounding. Raised as tracking hounds, guards, and maybe even mounts for war and transport, Nanotyrannus and
Both for war and for hunting. And they would also make it very effective guards. Great sense of smell, eyesight, hearing. And very intimidating to most folks. So, yeah, would not want to mess with that, IRL.
Anthrophelis, the friend of men, could prove a very useful domesticated beast across history. Because certain traits in animals tied with behavior can affect the appearance, these domesticated dinos would look a bit different than their wild ancestors, sporting a somewhat shorter muzzle, larger, perhaps even more expressive eyes, and greater amounts of feathers with many different coat colors. Those traits are more common in young animals, and this affects their behavior to where they stay barked
Aww.
instead of becoming too independent. It's the same reason dogs wag their tails and bark like young wolves do. This baseline original domesticated tyrannosaur would be roughly the equivalent to future breeds, like what primitive domestic dogs like the dingo would be for the varieties of man's best friend we see today. Various new breeds like swifter mounts or keen trackers could be developed. But for the final part of this video, we can give you a taste of something that went from nano to giganto.
Oh.
Tyrannosaurus and other large carnivores being potential dangers in ancient times in our hypothetical scenario, some civilizations started modifying their nanotyrannus to even the playing field. While
Making them bigger.
smaller than their ancestors for easier management, there are exceptions. What started as tiny jackal-like scavenging wolves could be made into monster-sized mastiffs, and many a little pony that wild horses once were eventually had descendants that could weigh over a ton and be used for warfare. Size and strength would need to be carefully balanced with the right temperament, but eventually there could come a time where a tyrant king menacing a village might be confronted with another towering force. Species: Nanotyrannus anthrophelis, Goliath breed. Height:
The
3 to
Goliath.
5 meters at the hip. Length: 11 to 12 meters, nose to tail. Mass: 5,000 to 6,000 or more kilograms. The Goliath weighs in at nearly triple what its ancestor did. Meant for heavy burdens, warfare in times of conflict, status symbols of power in times of peace, the Goliath would be in the same weight class as some of the larger wild tyrannosaurs, at between 5 to 7 tons. Massive, but still having more than enough agility to leverage its powerful jaws and large claws. And even if it found itself individually outweighed by a wild Rex, suits of custom armor and weapons given by human allies or assistance from packmates could tilt the odds. Something once small made mighty in parallel to humanity's rise. Here on Goji Center, the most powerful land reptile in history and most dangerous mammal of all time now both ride into battle.
Wow. Just it. Yeah, that is a very. Whew, that's some crazy breeding there. I mean, yeah, that. What would you even call the? Yeah, I would imagine there'd be a lot of references to those kind of things. Probably calling it the Dragon Wars or something. That is a cool concept. Alright. Next. Whaling was absolutely crazy. Back in the olden days, we were dealing with sea monsters. And now we're trying to preserve them. Because we have found oil under the earth. But let's see how we got the oil before we started digging.
There she goes! Over there! The scream cuts through the salty air as your ship transforms into a war machine.
Uh-oh.
Fragile boats are lowered into the waves, each packed with 6 men. You're on a hunt, and your sweaty hands clench the harpoon. An enormous shadow bursts through the waves. It rises above you and comes crashing down towards the
Oh no!
But you're not hunting for food.
Whales!
Risking your life for a liquid treasure worth $200,000. Whale oil, trapped inside the largest animals to ever live. Ancient sea masters. Nobody really knows how humans first got the idea of battling whales. Probably ancient coastal people stumbled upon whales stranded ashore. To them, these titans were rare treasure chests overflowing with meat to eat and bones to craft into tools. Refusing to leave such fortune to chance, they paddled out and tried their luck.
Yeah, why waste such a thing when you can take more of it?
Along the Bay of Biscay, the Basques build stone watchtowers.
Darn humans.
Breaks the surface, signal fires blaze, and drums thunder across the coast. Men shove small boats into the waves, armed with hand-thrown harpoons. Their target is the North Atlantic right whale, an 18-meter and 90-ton gentle giant who's gloriously slow and prefers coastal waters. While most whales sink when they die, right whales stay afloat. The right whale to hunt. Their massive mouths contain hundreds of baleen plates, bristly sieves made from keratin. It's the plastic of its time, shapeable into anything from baskets.
But now we got real plastic, and it's made of chemicals.
Meat makes up a third of a whale's weight, while half of it is blubber, a thick, oily shield that hides the real prize. When heated, the blubber can be rendered into precious whale oil. It's the Swiss Army knife of early industry. It lubricates machinery, waterproofs ships when mixed with tar, and helps make soap and paint. But most importantly, whale oil burns brighter and cleaner than anything else available at the time.
Now we have electricity.
Into a finely tuned enterprise. They improve equipment, perfect the art of processing whales, and flood Europe with whale products, while other nations watch with envy. By the 17th century, the English and Dutch launched their own whaling fleets. They hire Basque consultants, and soon the secrets of whale hunting spread across European powers.
All the way to America.
Americans hijack whaling.
Yep.
Life in colonial New England is as harsh as its winters and stony soil. But in the Atlantic, enormous shadows glide along the coast as right whales follow their migratory routes. And the settlers know the old world pays handsomely for such treasures. Shore whaling becomes their first get-rich-quick scheme. A single good-sized whale earns each crew member as much as a land-based worker makes in 6 months. But it's unpredictable. Some years, a crew kills 100 whales. Other years drag on for months without a catch. Still, whaling becomes a valuable source of trade. Meanwhile, London is swelling into one of the world's great metropolises. And by the 1740s, 15,000 street lamps burn with colonial whale oil there. It takes half a whale per night to turn London's dark streets into a flickering sea of light.
Wow. Yep, and this is why it is a good thing we invented electricity, ultimately.
But just like the Basques had learned centuries earlier, the right whales near shore become scarcer with each passing year.
They went
As
deeper.
demand is exploding. Around this time, a whaling boat is swept far offshore outside Nantucket. Hours drag on in uncertainty until finally the crew brings down a new kind of giant. The 18-meter, 45-ton sperm whale. In their heads, these leviathans carry nearly 2,000 liters of spermaceti, the highest quality oil on the planet. Milky gold, and so pure it burns without smoke. Sperm whales become the ultimate prize monsters. A single large sperm whale can yield oil worth around $200,000 today. That's a fortune in the 1850s, and 2 to 3 times more valuable than right whale oil. 1 barrel can buy you almost 3 acres of farmland. Then
Just
again,
one
an
barrel?
whaling expedition costs $30,000, 10 times
Whew.
more than an average farm. A third of voyages lose money, and some never return. But
Talk
getting
about
smashed by
stressful
furious sailors
fishing.
is what truly makes sailors' blood run cold. The hunt. Before we tackle the beast, let's briefly interrupt ourselves and shout out to our...
No more ad! Go away!
We'll wait, but don't take too long. The hunt is about to begin.
Okay, let's grab the harpoons.
Planks groan as your shipmates strain at their oars, rowing straight towards the beast. The plan is simple and absolutely insane. Row close enough to touch this monster, hurl a harpoon into its flesh,
Yep.
and hope it doesn't take it personally. You recognize the creature from its scars, and it remembers you.
Uh-oh.
The harpoon bites deep into blubber. The whale turns into pure, terrified rage. Your boat lurches forwards like you've been...
Another story of Mocha Dick!
As you're dragged across the ocean in what whalers call a Nantucket sleigh ride. It goes on for an hour, then 4. Your knuckles are white, gripping the gunwale as waves crash over the bow. The men pray and curse. 8 hours into the hunt, your exhausted eyes lose focus. The ropes lash across the deck like they're alive. Someone's leg gets caught and they're yanked into the ocean.
Ugh!
You hope it's quick. Sailors tell stories of other whales rushing in to defend their kin, dragging men down where lungs are crushed like tin cans. But you're still here, and the whale is finally slowing, exhausted from pulling your floating death trap across the ocean. Now comes the killing. You have to get close to stab this giant with a 3-meter lance, going for the massive lungs or heart. Blood starts flowing from the spout like a crimson geyser, but the whale is still fighting. 15 blows later, you find the mark. The whale starts swimming in tighter and tighter circles, vomiting half-digested squid, until it finally rolls over in a spreading pool of gore. And you're barely getting started.
That's just the hunt. And probably not even that successful if we think about it. Sheesh. You humans are really out for glory on this one. Now, how are you gonna pull it out?
You tow the enormous carcass back to the ship, where the crew slams down chains to secure their prize. The ship creaks as the dead giant bobs in the swells beside you. Now, the bushry can begin. It takes days to process 45 tons of dead whale into liquid money. You leap across the blood-slick blubber to axe through the thick flesh of the head. Within lies the spermaceti chamber, the vault of the most precious whale oil. Then you help peel away the blubber, 20 centimeters thick and tough as leather. You cut 2-meter-wide blanket pieces, weighing a ton, and hold them up with pulleys that strain the ship's masts. Your ship lurches as you cut it free to release the weight. Next comes the rendering. You fire up the try-works, brick furnaces built right on the wooden deck. In massive iron pots, the blubber gets boiled down into oil. The smoke is so thick you can barely breathe. They say you can smell a whaling ship from 30 kilometers away.
Oh.
Burning tar, rotting flesh, and the stink of death.
Literally.
Continues around the clock. Sharks are drawn back.
Yeah, we better hurry, guys.
Men slip on the greasy decks and break bones, get crushed by swinging chunks of blubber, or scalded by boiling oil. It may be one of the most gruesome jobs in existence. The stench, the blood, the endless toil, it wears you down fast. Most who sign on quickly regret it. Nearly a third end up deserting. You are holding on to the dream of coming home rich, but the odds aren't great. The business of blood. When it's all over, the ship returns with dozens of barrels of the finest oil on Earth. By the 1850s, whaling has become the 5th biggest industry in the US, with 700 whaling ships, 3/4 of the world's fleet, employing 70,000 people.
Now, keep this in mind. If there was a whole TV show about this, just picture Landman, in case you weren't wondering. This would, if there was a TV show that's taking place in an era that's talking about oil, instead of using massive pipes and drills, it'd be harpoons and ovens and very large cranking ships, among other things. Yeah, really is a telltale of hunting sea monsters.
In 1853 alone, American whalers killed over 8,000 whales, making 360,000 barrels of oil and almost $500 million in today's dollars. Voyages grow longer and months turn into years as ships push into the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Each voyage demands bigger investments, and whaling turns into a venture capital industry. Crews work for shares instead of wages, while forced to buy overpriced supplies on credit. Many come home in debt, and a lucky few rise through the ranks. It's the American dream, they say, but it feels like an illusion. The real money flows upwards to ship owners and merchants. Fishing villages turn into global commercial hubs. In New England, the port of New Bedford rises as one of the richest towns in America. Whaling is unusually diverse for its time, but deeply exploitative. Much of the labor comes from Native Americans and black sailors. Native communities become dependent on English goods, while crews of color are pushed into the hardest and lowest paying work. This pattern of inequality still echoes today. The blood of whales helps fuel the rise of American industrial power.
Oh.
The machine age of killing. Until in 1859, a breakthrough changes everything.
Electricity.
Steam-powered rigs start commercially pumping petroleum. Suddenly, kerosene, lamp oil refined from crude oil, is cheap and seemingly limitless. Over the following decades, the whaling industry faces dramatic changes. Nantucket, once the heart of global whaling, sees its last ship limp home in 1870. The age of sail is ending. The age of engine has begun. And it's ushered in by blood. In the 18th and 19th centuries, 300,000 sperm whales alone were slaughtered. And they still can't catch a break. Although kerosene conquered lighting, whale oil is still one of the best lubricants on Earth. Never freezes, spoils, or quits. The machinery powering industrialization needs it, so ironically, petroleum soon increases demand for whale oil. Norwegians seize the opportunity with cheaper labor and new technology. They set up whaling stations on islands at the edge of Antarctica. Hand-thrown spears are gone, and now explosive-tipped harpoons fire from steam-powered catcher boats for instant kills.
I mean, it's humane.
Blue whales, the largest animals that ever lived. Normally, most dead whales sink, but now air compressors pump them full of gas, so even the biggest ones float like massive buoys. No whale is safe anymore. In the arms race leading up to World War I, whale oil is also used to produce explosives. But the true carnage comes after World War II, when Japan and the Soviet Union also joined the slaughter. They call it the Whaling Olympics. The same industrial might that once built tanks and bombers now builds factory ships. The largest one is 210 meters long, capable of processing dozens of whales in a day. In 1964, 82,000 whales are reported killed, the largest animal slaughter by tons in human history.
Really glad the whaling war is over, for the most part.
Sustain this mechanized assault. Sperm whales fall from around 1.5 million to 800,000, and the even larger fin whales from almost 800,000 to 100,000. Blue whale populations, which had numbered around 340,000 before industrial whaling, collapsed by 98% to less than 5,000.
Damn.
It isn't until 1975 that the reality of industrial whaling hits the global spotlight. In the North Pacific, environmental activists steer tiny inflatable boats straight between Soviet whaling ships and their targets. The images of fragile human bodies standing in the path of steel harpoons spread like wildfire. Overnight,
And it's the term Free the Whale.
Across America and Europe, people support a new cause: save the whales. Finally, the International Whaling Commission votes for a global moratorium on commercial whaling. Only Norway, Iceland and Japan never signed the global ban that takes effect in 1986, basically ending 400 years of industrial whale hunting. It's a different world now, and looking back, the story of whaling seems bloody and barbaric. But it also lit homes, powered machines, and built the scaffolding of modernity. A staggering and also concerning display of what humanity is capable of. The power to reshape the world, with progress and destruction always side by side.
But now now we know better. For at least the most part. But yeah, this is yeah, that's getting heavy. Anyway. But since we're talking about the world, I've been getting a little bit of on a political sort of thing, so yeah, it's been kind of grinding on me, and I really gotta say it. The whole world has gone absolutely mad. And for those that haven't watched the Shoe on Head before, you're about to meet her now. She is very well famous for talking about men's problems and various economic issues. And let's see what's on the news today. Oh yeah, this is legit.
Hello friends, my name is Shoe on Head, and
hello Shoe.
Series The Hell World Report. Some of you may remember my series.
The Hell Report.
If you do, you can qualify.
Hello, this is Shoe on Head, and welcome back to Hell.
For a veterans discount, congratulations! And if you remember the Gamergate days, well,
Oh,
please come collect your retirement. But yeah,
I don't know much about Gamergate, but it already sounds bad.
I think it's a really interesting time capsule into the years 2020 and 2021, like how crazy it was back then, and then in retrospect comparing it to how crazy it is now. But this is a shorter, more condensed version of that series.
Uh-oh.
Think of it as a Temu Jon Stewart.
Okay, so we're getting everything in snippets. In one video.
Better than those late night Jimmies, because I don't get my news from mainstream sources like some kind of hack. No. I get them from far more reputable places like Instagram Reels and Femboy Groiper 69 on Twitter.
Damn, femboy Groiper 69, he's ratting everybody out! Somebody find him and have it!
From straight ballrooms and the Epstein files to OnlyFans green cards and kidnapping foreign leaders, from government-funded purple-haired girlfriends...
Yeah, it's getting crazy!
We have a very packed show for you today. It has been a crazy year, and it is only January.
It's just 1 month!
Huge winter storm.
This morning,
that actually looks like a big pair of tits!
across the nation. 20 states under a state of emergency.
Ah yes, perfect weather to make some poor immigrant deliver me chicken tendies. It's so cold that Michigan and Minnesota received reports about exploding trees. Leftists said no more ice, and God said,
let there be more! Oh my god! Hang on, can we have a look at that again?
It's so cold that Michigan and Minnesota received reports about exploding trees.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Hold on. Where's the speed on this? Hold on. Where is it? Settings. Where? Hold on. Where is it? Speed. Where? Ah, here we go. Yeah, I gotta make sure, you guys see this, because I want to see that instant replay. Whoa! Look at can you believe this? It is so cold at the east that that trees are literally popping their bark off. That is crazy. Okay. Yeah, look at that. All right.
Exploding trees. Leftist said no more ice, and God said...
That is crazy! Exploding trees! And I thought it was supposed to be the warmer things get, the more chances things explode.
Anyway, in news that should have stayed in 2016, apparently there is a new term term women have coined called man-keeping.
Man-keeping?
Are done with dating.
Okay. Feminazis, what the fuck are you doing? First it's mansplaining, then it's manspreading, and now we have this? Really, blueheads? Have you completely lost your damn mind? Yep. Look, I really don't care who's the president. I don't care who's in charge. Make the asylums great again! Lock these bitches under the asylum and throw away the key! Let them never leave!
Researchers at Stanford have finally given a name to something many women
Man-keeping?
It's called man-keeping, and it's helping explain why so many women are stepping away from dating altogether. Man-keeping describes the emotional labor women end up doing in heterosexual relationships. It goes beyond remembering birthdays or coordinating social plans. It means being your partner's one-man support system, managing his stress, interpreting his moods, holding his hand through feelings he won't share with anyone else. All of it unpaid, unacknowledged, and often unreciprocated.
I thought the purpose for a relationship is that you can trust each other with those sort of things. Why do we have to overcomplicate these things? Seriously. Look, I'm not going to be religious or anything, but man and woman are supposed to complement each other. Man does the hunting and the gathering and fighting and all that. Women does the household things. Obviously it's a different world. Both can do both jobs just fine, but there is a reason why the two are made together. It's like, I don't know. What the hell has this world come to? Why do we need to be at war with each other? Seriously.
I hate this therapy speak people talk with now.
See?
Emotional labor? You mean being there for your partner?
Yeah!
So many people are just gonna start dating ChatGPT. People thought
I
men
know.
were the ones dating.
Oh my, yeah. I gotta confess, I use a little bit of AI when I'm trying to be a little creative on some of my works. I actually use it to generate some images as concepts. But dating AI. Now you have really failed in life if you need to use AI to date. No, not suggest what's a good person in your area. No. Actually dating the AI itself. That's crazy.
AI, no. They're gonna be the ones with these sex robots. Women are the ones who want the daily affirmation machines. Yes, honey, I love when you talk about all the drama at work. Tell me more about that bitch Veronica. Man-spreading, mansplaining, man-interrupting, man-keeping, manscaping. Speaking of manscaping.
And no!
Shout out to today's sponsor, a sponsor that can help you with your manscaping. Henson Shaving.
Oh.
For the last few decades, razors haven't been designed to work better. They've been designed to be marketed.
I'm sorry, Shu, but I gotta go.
Let's get back to the video.
Yay!
Alright, let's start with some good news.
Good news! We need some!
It's now 59.
Wait.
But that's not all. America's seniors will now see a new $6,000 bonus exemption as part of the Working Families Tax
Yeah, alright!
$93 billion in tax cuts for seniors all over the country.
Okay.
And by Working Families tax cut, they mean you, the working family. Giving another billion-dollar wealth transfer to the most oppressed class. Boomers. Why are
What?
they giving these geriatric f***s another tax break? Maybe they should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Maybe they should stop buying so much avocado toast. God forbid we
God
young
damn
families
it.
raise the next generation of Americans. No, that would be communism. Young people are poor as f*** nowadays. What are they supposed to do?
Piper Raquel, 18, claims she made $2.9 million in a single day after launching OnlyFans.
Ah, no.
No more rights. No more women's rights. I am ready for the Islamic Revolution. Mayor Memdani, please press...
Shoo, no! We've seen what happens! It's horrible!
Women, am I right? But But I think the real question here is, should men be allowed to have credit cards?
No!
Create millions of dollars with her mind out of thin air. No. Millions of men made this woman a millionaire overnight. Where's the accountability for that? I'm out here.
But we're so screwed!
Men to be out there policing the simps. We have a simp epidemic. Simps are out of control. Not all of them, though. Mine are.
I mean, I've seen my fair share myself. I mean, haven't really paid for anything. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, what are we doing? Stop simping! I know you're lonely out here, but please just hang in there. Stop it.
They're cool. They can stay. Also, isn't this like the third OnlyFans 18th birthday announcement, and the woman turns into a millionaire overnight? Someone a little sus.
Why is that? Seriously, what is wrong with you people? Oh no. Wait a second. Is this another scam? Is this a VTuber model that's super advanced AI? Oh.
Honestly, what's the
Oh my god. Those damn scammers. They're getting way too good at their job.
deal? Men are already talking to the guys in India who run the accounts of OnlyFans models. Is this really?
And now it's the...
Internet is slowly but surely just becoming Indian men scamming other Indian men. But don't worry, not every internet waifu is a man using AI. In fact, if you live in the UK, you may get a state-funded, far-right, purple-haired waifu. Introducing
What?
Pathways.
Oh no!
By the UK government.
Oh no. Okay. A little bit of context for those that don't know. This game, quote unquote, is supposed to be a tool from the English government or the UK to keep kids away from radical ideas. Meaning that UK doesn't want any free-thinking youngsters that want to think about English rights first. They want to keep their borders nice and open for foreigners. Yeah. That's the general gist of it. And so there's that backstory. But there is a particular villain in this tool, this thing right here. That's a goth girl who's purple hair, who actually wants to close the border and save England. According to this game, that's very radical, and that's dangerous and very hateful and problematic. But just about everyone has already seen through it, and they are immediately fighting back using Amelia, which is the name of said villain of this sort of thing, as the mascot of rebellion against the government's shenanigans. But go ahead and take it away from here.
Online radicalization.
Pathways is an educational visual novel and learning experience created by the UK media company Shout Out UK, with funding from UK government's Prevent program run by the Home Office. The game is meant to teach the youth about dangers of radicalization and extremism in both real life and online.
I could totally see America doing something similar, but in the opposite direction. With the way things are going right now, with the crime rates added all messed up and exposed, I mean, not to say anything racist or anything, but there are a lot of things that have been going on, and there's a certain group of individuals that might grab this idea, make their own form of game of propaganda, similar to this, but instead of, telling everyone that it's terrible, that it's racist, bigoted, and misogynistic to think about Americans, gonna be targeting the left side of politics. Just from food for thought.
This is done by putting the players in a role of a character named Charlie, who must navigate 6 different scenarios relating to extremism. In the second scenario, the player is introduced to the character Amelia, a staunch anti-immigration protester depicted as a goth girl with purple hair, a pink dress, and a choker.
Yep.
The internet instantly fell in love with her.
Yep. And, yep, she's the mascot.
It's like they made her have short purple hair, thinking that that would prevent this from happening.
Oh no, whatever shall we do? These people are being radicalized. We need to find a way to make a mascot villain to get them away from radical thoughts. Oh, I know! Why don't we just give them a big titty goth girl with purple hair? Fucking genius! Let's go ahead and do that! UK, what the fuck are you doing? Don't you know we are starved of beauty and we want beautiful things? We're sick and tired of the rainbow heads! We're sick of the idiots! We're sick of the ugly! Give us beauty, damn it!
But the UK failed to consider the fact that conservatives love art hoes. They act like they don't, they'll deny it, they'll pretend they just want a blonde traditional housewife, but deep...
I mean, I love beautiful women. I love big, massive mummy milkies. I'm not gonna deny it. I know some of you out there are gonna tell me I'm radical right or mega chat or whatever massive, whatever term you're gonna use at that day or whatever trend. But I like big titties. Give me the milk. I want it. I know you hate me for it, but I love it and I want it.
Down every conservative wants a woman who looks like this, who says...
Yes.
Government funded...
Hell yeah.
Incredible.
She knows.
Government doesn't do weird shit like
Who's
that.
telling her all the secrets?
Very normal.
Okay, what is this? There's no way this is real. Is that a...
Mar-a-Lago furry party was on my 2026 bingo card. I miss when this weird was just done on...
Was that real? Hold on. I didn't even... Okay. I guess I have been somehow kidnapped and drugged last night or something, 'cause what kind of hallucination am I looking at here? What am I looking at here? I actually thought, honestly, I really thought this was some sort of anime convention. I know that furry conventions exist, but... Was that a furry convention? Am I looking at this wrong? I swear Yeah, moving on.
Mar-a-Lago furry party was on my 2026 bingo card.
I don't even know what's on mine.
Done underground. I miss when these parties were secret. Speaking of, the Epstein files were released.
Oh, no.
Wow.
There-
Incredible. The things they are showing us are eerie enough. I couldn't imagine the things that they're redacting. It is absolutely disgusting.
They're really...
People are still being...
I keep telling... Look, I'm saying this right here, live on YouTube, live on Twitch. Those files, I've always said, the government, everyone in government and everyone in politics, they're all a bunch of criminals. They're all liars. It's all a death cult. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, everyone in those offices are on the files. Every single one of them. Us regular guys, we're not invited to the club. We know about it, but we're just not invited.
Protected. We as a country should be extremely concerned about an international child trafficking ring. This is not just something we all move from, and we kidnapped the president of Venezuela.
Oh.
Just now, Maduro
Oh, that's what happened.
captured.
Maduro has been captured and flown out of the country.
In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary.
There's the orange man himself. Actually took it.
That he was being transferred on.
Trump voters voted to fix the economy and to afford homes again. They didn't vote to kidnap communists in the middle of the night. Actually, they probably did vote for that.
Hooray!
Never mind.
The oil companies are going to go in, they're going to spend money, we're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago.
Holy shit. This is the most transparent administration in history. They weren't lying. I don't know if it's the stock
I mean,
or what, but it's almost
I gotta hand it to him. I mean, love him or hate him, he's at least doing something.
Thank you for just saying it's about oil. Thank you for not pretending it's about saving democracy and just doing imperialism the old-fashioned way. We have such terrible Middle Eastern war fatigue that it was shocking to not hear about how Venezuela is just jealous of our freedoms or some shit. Like, no, it's just for ExxonMobil. Like, okay, carry on.
The US used a powerful mystery weapon that brought Venezuelan soldiers to their knees, bleeding through their nose and vomiting blood during the daring raid to capture dictator.
I'm gonna call it right now, it's probably some sort of sonic weapon. We know what goes on in Area 51. We got alien technology. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what's... I don't know idea. I haven't swam up that far inland. But there are military bases that are on Mars, on the moon, or somewhere. Men in Black are real! The fiction is actually documentary.
Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah, if you're wondering why we don't have healthcare, this is why. We have invisible laser beams that can make people bleed out their f***ing eyes. Apparently, directed energy weapons are real. The Goy beam is real. Deep state files are real. Havana syndrome is real. Hell, it's almost like being a conspiracy theorist is just another word for being correct too early. What's next? COVID was fake?
There have been significant developments in the last 5 to 7 years on social, environment, and technology fronts that could help realize my carbon initiatives for shaping the future towards smart and sustainable cities. COVID-19 was the test of social responsibility. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but I work at a hospital. I thought for certain that a virus like this was gonna kill so many people. I mean, don't get me wrong, it actually did. But, oh my God. No wonder it took so long. I was wondering why it took 2 years to actually solve anything, and now it all makes sense. This is robbery.
Applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility.
Oh, sorry, I just owe many people many apologies. Anyway, Venezuela has no president. Who is going to run Venezuela?
So we are going to run the country.
A few
Uh-oh.
moments later.
Hola, amigos. Yo soy su nuevo presidente.
Ah!
El señor Ronaldo J.
Oh
Can we
no!
just fix our country first? Can we fix our broken infrastructure, our education system? Can we do a little nation building in this nation? Can a bitch get a little regime change in our own country, please? And you know, with modern American nation building comes refugees. So who is gonna take in these Venezuelan refugees? Are we?
No, please, no, we already had enough.
The United States increasingly issuing work visas to OnlyFans models based on level of audience reach, according to the Financial Times.
Imagine being an immigrant from like some poor country working your
No.
in the United States when all you had to do was bend over and show hole. Big booty Latinas to the front, tortas to the back. Anyway, na boo boo, my president can kidnap your president. We're invincible. We can regime change anyone we want. Who's next? Canada, Greenland, Cuba? Cuba's literacy rates are higher than ours. Maybe they should come liberate our dumbasses. Kids are swiping on books. But f it, the Don Road Doctrine, baby. Let's go. America is back. Dick Cheney is looking up at us smiling.
You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship. Their days are numbered.
Trump, listen to me. Wait, Trump doesn't watch this shit. Vance, listen to me. Get people like Lindsey Graham far away from anyone in power right now. This little Venezuela stunt was cute, but we are not touching any other country. We are not touching the Middle East.
I don't know about that.
We have Middle East fatigue. We are done. This whole thing really put into perspective.
Yeah, there are other folks that I have watched, and I'm actually surprised that the Middle East didn't turn into a black wasteland when we left. I mean, there are a lot of laws in play, I'm sure, but I think we can all agree that we're all sick and tired of dealing with this, with the Middle East. It's crazy!
Just how weird it was that we were there, like, for 20 years. You mean we could have just been in and out in a few hours? I guess those poppy fields couldn't maintain themselves, though. Anyway.
I mean, we're good. I mean, it's good. The dictators are finally gone. Hooray! Hey! Yeah!
Sorry, excuse me, but did you forget to check in with Lilith, the barista from Bushwick, and see how she feels about this?
Who?
The United States will be running Venezuela. Whoa, a colony. Whoa, imperialism. All for what? So a fucking multinational.
Hold on. Let me, I just need to make a quick phone call real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Hello, FBI? Yeah, there's a crazy psycho bitch with pink hair that is screaming at me on the screen. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's got a nose ring. Yep, that's her. Yep, take her out. Thanks. Boop.
You know what's funny is I basically said the exact same thing this person said, but I said it less loudly. She has a nose ring and I don't, so I'm right and she's wrong. End of story. What happens when you dismantle the soft power of things like USAID? We're no longer doing secret regime change operations behind the scenes. Now we're just straight up kidnapping other world leaders in the dead of night and just saying it's about oil, which honestly kind of makes me believe it's not about oil.
I mean, we've been at silent war for years.
Behind this one, right?
The implications here are really great for the Venezuelan people.
Oh, God damn it. You know, people say I have Israel derangement.
And I thought the brain farts couldn't be any worse.
Like this.
No, it's difficult to hear, but it's time to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, and quickly before it's too late.
What do you mean?
I mean that we need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack rank the authenticity of every.
Advocate for censorship on a news network. Yeah. Great plan, higher-ups. Wonder how the population's gonna feel about that plan.
Person that expresses themselves online and take control over what they are saying based on that ranking.
The government.
The government should.
Yeah, great plan. How's that?
Explaining that to someone without showing them the video. Go ahead. Yeah, there's a Jewish billionaire named Shlomo who wants to control the internet. Like, okay, man, you're in too deep. No more Instagram reels for you. Anyway, you should have just let us play video games. Now we're perp walking the president of Venezuela down the streets of New York City. But hey, leftist.
Yeah, we just wanted to live in peace, man.
Doing the usual
I wanted to play Monster Hunter. I wanted to invite friends to do D&D. I just wanted to buy out my own business, but no! You damn rainbow heads had to ruin it for me! You had to ruin it for everybody! Why do you have to ruin so much? Why do you have to destroy everything you touch? Why?
We saved maybe, what, $1 billion? $1 billion that could go to other, more important things, like defense contractor stock buybacks and empty Somalian daycares, apparently.
This is Maggie.
Yeah.
Nick Shirley, back at a daycare in Minnesota.
You've been exposed!
With a fraudulent facility in a now viral video. Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
The point is that blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers.
Oh, they're just at the Leering centers.
Now it exploded, and the fallout has been bizarre.
Okay, yeah.
The funniest part
Hold on, I gotta rewind. Well,
luring center. It's not like Nick Shirley.
Video. Shirley tries to open locked doors and talk to people at various daycares he claims are frauds.
The point is that
okay, pausing right here. Shout out to this guy. He has done such amazing work. And potentially dangerous work, too. I mean, yeah. Great! That's my no, this is not sarcastic. He's done amazing work. I hate scammers. Fuck them all. Get them out of here. We don't need those parasites in our nation. Get them out. I don't care if people are gonna come at my front door because F ICE or whatever. Enough of the scammers. Get them out.
blacked out doors, they can't give you any information. You call that number, no one answers.
It's not like Nick Shirley was the first person to expose this either, but now it exploded. And the fallout has been bizarre, to say the least. The funniest part had to be when the infamous luring center...
Yeah, I actually made this joke. Those idiots can't even spell learning center. What is this? What am I even looking at here? Learning center? Did they even learn their ABCs? Really? These are supposed to be adults that are supposed to be American standard, but look, what am I looking at here? I mean, I know it's a typo. It can easily be fixed, but how dumb do you have to be to not even look at that and go, I think we better remake that poster, I think. Not a single thought crossed your mind. What are you doing, scammers? Get better.
Center claimed to have been broken into the night this all went viral.
Unfortunately, we saw that there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also...
Documentations like what? Your magazines?
Employee documentation that was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news.
Oh no, somebody broke into the daycare and stole all the paperwork we needed to prove we are a legit operation. Please ignore my suspicious exact paperwork we need to prove we are a legit operation.
Yeah.
Belly. Listen, no hate to the Somalians, but when my family came here 100 years ago, we did organized crime the right way. We would have had tin walls and cement.
Back in the days when we were organized in crime, we made sure that everyone was part of the family. People that could actually do things the right way. For you see, my family came from Italiano cartello. We made sure that we had dinner together, having Mamma Mia's a pasta, and we will eat the pizza. But if anyone be slack enough, we throw them to the fishes.
This is just sad. This is cartoonishly pathetic. Listen, nobody is...
I mean, you're not even spelling right.
I think it's all going to like this. If you want people to support a welfare state, you have to make sure that welfare is actually going to real things that help real people. Listen, it's already hard enough to convince a right-wing audience that there's more to leftism than Reddit and butt sex. Now I have to convince them the wealth redistribution I advocate for isn't all going to Somalian welfare pirates. Thanks. That money should be spent on...
Yeah, leftists, do you not see what's going on here? Why are you trying to have the morality police on your side? Look at yourselves. Think. How many times do we have to explain this to you, Rainbow Head? There are bad people on your side too. Think, Mark, think.
More important things like New Gaza.
What?
Like the World Economic Forum and Jared Kushner are proud to present New Gaza. Yes, the demolition project is finally
New Gaza? What is that?
In Deloitte branch on top of the bodies of thousands of dead children. Hell is not hot enough, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it is not, evidently.
Anyway, because of all this fraud stuff Tim Walz is stepping down, which is sad to see because he has to be one of my favorite characters in modern American history. The first white male DEI hire, the last white dude for Kamala Harris. A dying breed. But hey, maybe this marks an official end to the Kamala Harris era, and we can move on and focus on rebuilding the Democratic Party to something more.
Harris stepping toward another White House run.
Oh, no!
No. We are not doing this. No. I swear to God, the Democratic Party is like an old friend addicted to heroin or something. You want to help them, do everything you can to help them, but they don't listen. They keep doing stupid things and hurting themselves.
They really are! Put them in the asylum! They need rehab! They need help!
They could be how they used to be, but it's hopeless. And all your other friends keep saying to you, just forget them. Just forget them, it's not worth it. Come hang out with us instead. But those friends are on crack.
Oh, no!
Crack cocaine. But this Minneapolis...
Where do you go?
People aren't just gonna forget about this. And an ICE officer just shot a woman in the face in Minneapolis.
What? Oh, come on.
Get out of the car and approach the SUV.
Self-deletion by cop.
That's when the shots are fired, the car crashing.
As I was writing this video, an innocent woman was picking her kids up from school when an ICE officer jumped in front of her car and randomly shot her in the face. Or an angry protester was blocking the road and tried to run over an ICE officer with a car, so he shot in self-defense. Depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you voted, apparently. The way I see it, this woman was not trying to hit him. She was not trying to run him over. I think she was trying to drive away. And in an alternate universe, he dodges the car and she drives away. And it's easy to be like, oh, in hindsight, he should have done this, he should have done that. That's like so much of the discourse right now I'm seeing is just...
I mean, here's my thing about this whole thing. She tried to flee the scene, trying to cause chaos. The cop happened to be in the wrong place. He panicked and thought he was in danger, obviously, because, you know, metal monster charging right at you. I gotta take out the driver. I mean, it's terrible it happened, but at the same time, what did they expect? Just stop trying to make things hard for the cops. Just stop it. Why are you being so stupid? I think that our next live react, I think we should watch some cop videos. What do you guys think? I would absolutely love to watch cop videos at this way, because it is very entertaining to see a bunch of idiots being put in their place.
In hindsight this, in hindsight that, and it's easy for us to say in hindsight, you know, after the fact. It's easy to say he could have, he should have, but all he saw...
But it was at the moment.
...and going towards him. This has been one of the most insane political Rorschach tests.
Yeah, and here's the thing. In a dangerous scenario like this, of course you're gonna get dangerous. Of course you're gonna react accordingly. That's what you're supposed to do if you want to stay alive. Why do people not understand that?
I've ever seen in my life. It really all comes down to how you view ICE and police officers.
Of course. F ICE, let's kill ICE, that whole argument. I've heard it all before. Stop it.
I'm going to get a real unbiased conversation with those people. Because why the f should a protester respect ICE in the first place? And many, not all, conservatives tend to be complete and utter f***ing bootlickers. Completely unable to criticize anything the police do. ICE can do no wrong. Don't tread on me becomes tread harder, daddy, real fast. This is extremely aggravating discourse, and you should be questioning anyone who takes a really firm, hard stance either way and, like, can't fathom how the other side is seeing what they are seeing. The first episode of my old Hellworld series was actually all about police brutality. It was all about police brutality.
I mean, yeah, that's...
I was a little more ACAB-y back then. I was a little more lived the f*** out back then. But hey, to be fair...
But then we've...
That is what happens when you live in...
You know, it's okay, Shu. I was a little bit on the left side myself. I talked about the... There was a time where I myself was leaning towards the left. I was actually during the time when, whoa, who was that guy? When there was this, what was his name? There was a guy from Comcast, I think it was, who was in charge of the FECC, and there was a panic about the free internet being threatened. Everyone was against it, and we all wanted that, and we still want that. And now more than ever, we don't even know what's gonna happen anymore. I mean, things are getting crazier more than ever. But yeah, I was left leaning just because I wanted my internet to stay alive. I didn't want to have to deal with any of that. But then there was actually the moment where I had where I did a full silent video. Just a blank video. Full of black. Moment of silence for George Floyd. I had no idea who he was. No idea no idea anything about the situation. All that I knew at the time was cop killed a guy. And yeah, I gave a moment of silence. I'm sure some of you have seen that video, but I deleted that video because it turned out he was a druggie. Yeah. We live and learn, and turns out shit gets too crazy. You're just like, what the hell is going on now?
In the sheltered suburbs of Long Island in your parents' basement versus having a kid and living in the city for 4 years.
That's
the
true.
Police are a taxpayer-funded HR department for structural violence. They exist solely to protect the rights of private property. Yeah, we need more police. Police are good. Police are great.
Yeah.
Give the police more guns. More guns. Give them more guns. Tanks. Tanks even. My overall
she makes a great point back there. I mean, it's so easy to say, oh yeah, we need less guns, we don't need to be so aggressive. But then when you head to the ghettos, then you're like, oh my god, get me grenades, get me a bazooka out here, get me the freaking Tommy guns. Yeah, it's crazy how crazy two worlds are on the same land. On one hand, you're just in the regular suburbs in your house, comfortable, not having to worry about anyone trying to break into your house. But when you make it to head for other parts, like the ghettos or the inner city, then suddenly you cannot afford to leave your house. You don't even have the right to sleep without holding a handgun. Because you never know who's gonna try to kill you. Or, self-delete. It's crazy out here.
Basically the same. I'm very critical of the police. I am very pro-First Amendment. Protesting
Yeah.
is a fundamental American right. And we can't just go around labeling protesters domestic terrorists. That is an insane, slippery slope. And if you support that, I promise you will come back to bite you.
I mean, obviously, that's a right. I mean, if you have a sign, you have words to say, fight for a good cause, all for it. That's obvious. But there's a line that needs to be drawn, because if you decide to break stuff or threaten someone's life, can you really say it's protesting anymore? I wouldn't think so.
You in the ass. So good luck in 2028 when President Newsom knocks you up.
What?
Whoa, knocks you up.
Wait a minute. Am I pregnant? Oh my god! Wait! Who's the father? Where's the baby? Oh. You mean knocks you? But I'm sorry. Now I just get come over here, come over here and hang up that phone, Carl. Come over here and kiss me in my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh. Oh no. Keep your hand on the soap. Don't let go.
What do they do? Nothing. They do nothing. I don't know. I let this joke something pronouns. Like, God forbid the turns me into Swiss cheese.
Okay, yeah, seriously, what the hell's with the pronouns? I mean, what you do in your private time is none of my business or all that, but why are you trying to force that down our throats? We're just trying to do our daily jobs, daily routines. We're just trying to do our own thing. What the hell are you doing? Why? Why are you trying to make everything so personal? Why?
The president's like, she was a radical leftist lunatic. The people called her Commie Mommy. Can you believe that, folks? Commie Mommy. Sad. And some people were like straight up mocking this woman, celebrating it. And then when people were like, what the f***, they were like, well, you got Charlie Kirk, so now we got one of your guys. Is that what we're doing now? We're just gonna keep killing each other back and forth? Is that what this is?
Good,
but some kind of secret war? Who gets me?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, are we in a civil war? Are we just... Is this another war on terror? What is this? What is going on here? I mean, I keep saying we're probably in this... I keep saying I'm surprised we're not even in a civil war. But then again, are we in a civil war? Because at this point, I think we are. And it's freaking crazy.
Me and the national divorce. Hell yeah, 2 Christmases. Like, you agreed with me when I was upset about the reactions people had about Charlie Kirk, and then you're over here like, boo-hoo, she was a stupid libtard. Honestly, some of you just don't have morals. You have, like, temporary weapons you can use to bludgeon people you don't like when you have the chance. You and all the people who mock Charlie Kirk are all going in the pit, and you can come out when you learn how to be normal. In my opinion, a lot of focus on illegal immigration should go to the employers employing illegal immigrants for cheaper scab labor. I feel like that's really important, and like, we're not doing that. It's kind of interesting that the government is focused so hard on immigration right now, but like, apparently hasn't made any like real actual legislative change to the laws of immigration. Dragging Jose at a Home Depot might work for now, but they have to be working on something more substantial, right? Well, Palantir, the company named after the evil crystal ball in Lord of the Rings.
Oh, no.
Right.
That doesn't sound sinister.
Tool for ICE. And what does it do? Oh, nothing really. Just creates a map of deportation targets, pulls up a dossier on them, and assigns them a confidence score. Because if there's one thing we can trust, it's a private Silicon Valley.
Didn't China do something similar? I have a feeling there's something like that that's similar, because that is crazy.
Like tech companies' algorithm deciding who gets disappeared. Every single surveillance tool starts by simply protecting us. It's only gonna affect the baddies. But who are the baddies? Today it's illegal immigrants. Tomorrow it's furries. Next week it's people who are into feet. And before you know it, it's fans of VTubers.
Oh no!
You know, on second.
Oh no! Oh no, that means that's me! I'm a VTuber! Oh no, they're locking it! Ah!
I don't buy into the propaganda that simply enforcing border security, something every developed country has, is akin to Nazi Germany. Sorry, I don't. Build a wall? Hitler. Deport illegal immigrants? Hitler. Just kick out the ones at least? Hitler. Like, there's no...
I mean, that's common sense. Every nation has borders. Every nation has security. Why is it so bad when America does it? Why is it so bad when Israel does it? I mean, why? Why is that so bad? Why? What is the deal? I never got that. I mean, everyone has to do taxes. Everyone has to follow the rules. It's just living standards as a citizen. Why is that so hard a concept to understand? Why is that why? Just why? Why? Why are we doing this?
No other option besides open borders that is acceptable to some people, and I don't get that. What I do get, however, is that people don't want to live under a Palantir police state, where people can't even film ICE agents without getting put on some kind of f***ing list. I feel like there has to be some
fair enough. That's a good point.
Besides total free-for-all, globo homo.
Yeah, HR world, from what I hear, is terrible. One wrong look and I'm locked up for life or something. I don't want that.
Versus Peter Thiel, nightmare tech bro dystopia. Like, how is it not possible to just, like, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal? Just created a see all the people they have been deporting. One guy was deported back to Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no.
We sent that motherfucker back in time. Listen, what happened to Renee Good was a tragedy. It was terrible, but hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. And another person was shot by ICE.
Ah, no.
According to
Another one? Oh, it's this guy. Yeah, he was an agitator. He did it on he brought it on himself.
Captured by eyewitnesses.
He did it to himself.
Off in total in just seconds. Pretty pronounced dead on the scene.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching Nux Taku, and I was watching Aspengold about this. And a couple others, there are couples that I don't remember at the top of my head, but everyone was talking about this guy, and this idiot has been antagonizing them for weeks and days. Yeah, he was kicking the cars, he was spitting at the officers. I mean, he was the aggressor, and he actually came into the protest with a loaded gun and 2 magazines. That is not a protester. He was a threat. So of course he had to be brought down. Maybe not lethally. It's still terrible, but still, he was a threat. He had to be taken down.
Absolutely clear stuff is still coming out about this as I am filming. Literally, as I am filming, this happened. You know, there's no body cam footage yet, so I could be totally wrong. Totally possible, totally possible. However, first impressions of watching the video at multiple angles, multiple times, yeah, I think they just murdered that guy. It looks like they took his gun and then shot him. Like 10 officers come over.
Okay, they removed his gun, but other officers didn't see the gun. They assumed he was still armed. That's the story I got from this. It's still crazy, it's still tragic, but come on. It's just a Darwin Award at this point. Stop antagonizing the law enforcement. Let them do their jobs.
Wrestle him to the ground, the agent disarms him, take his gun, they yell gun, 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 and they shoot him several times in the back. More information can come out, but the compulsive bootlicking I have been seeing has been fucking insane.
Why does a nurse feel compelled to go confront ICE armed with a 9mm handgun? Only one person could have prevented this from happening, and it's Alex Preddy.
Yeah, who goes to a protest and brings a gun? Look, if the government can take a firearm from you and then kill you because you had a firearm, then nobody actually has a right to own a firearm. If that is how it works, then there's actually no such thing as the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment does not exist. I feel...
Okay, yeah, you bring a good point. I mean, yes, I mean, you know what? I'm actually wondering if it'll come to a point where everyone would be required to have some sort of defense weapon. Grab some mace, a knife. This is not me promoting anything or any kind of violence. Let me be clear. Don't do that. Don't go out and start terrorizing nobody, okay? I don't want no Ammonites doing that, okay? We're better than this. But what I'm saying is, it might come to pass where when you go outside, you might have to. Just to go grocery shopping. Is that a world I want? Absolutely not. I want to feel safe when I grab some milk. But yeah, things are crazy now.
I feel like some people genuinely just forget that police are just people. ICE officers are just people.
Yeah.
They're literally just people who work for the government like anyone else. They're DMV employees with guns. They can be stupid. They can be bad. They can make mistakes. Like, I don't know what it is about some people. Like, once someone has a badge, it's like, that person is just a perfect angel and cannot be criticized at all. You're telling me all I have to do to get you fucking people to listen to me is to dress like this? Alright.
I mean, not to say anything, but, I know of go-go folks that love a good woman in uniform. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. But no, seriously, the badge does not make you an honorable person. An honorable person makes the badge, alright? It's not the badge, it's the person wearing the badge that makes the badge. Right? We can all agree on that.
Fair enough. Stop.
Oh, whoa!
None of this would have happened if ICE agents were being trained better instead of being rushed through the system with little to no training. And if Minnesota just worked alongside ICE to make sure they were doing this in a safe, more effective way, instead of just...
Yeah, and like I've been saying this whole video, stop interfering with the cops! Let them do their damn jobs!
Egging on a fucking jihad against them. Also, if ICE's goal is to round up pedophiles and fraudsters, I hear there's a pretty big list of pedophiles and fraudsters that need to be rounded up.
Oh, yeah?
Unfortunately, we'll never fucking get to see it. I'm trying to make this video somewhat funny and entertaining, but I'm not gonna lie, this is really bleak. Is America okay? Can we please go...
I don't think so.
Without living through a major historical event, please? And a bunch of new Epstein files just...
Oh, no. More?
Going to war with Iran soon, aren't we? Where was I?
Yep.
This just says Mr. Beast tendies. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is simulating a chicken's body.
What?
Honestly, can't tell the difference. What the heck?
What is this?
I will not eat the Antichrist lab-grown chicken tendies. Oh, I completely forgot about this. Sorry, I am not on my Vyvanse today, folks. I forgot to take my normal pills.
Oh, no.
Long before the race hustlers took...
Do I need normal pills? Is that what I'm supposed to be taking anymore? Will it make me a normal human being? Will I never once more have to deal with any... What? What happened? Alright, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is simulating a chicken's body. And
It's for black women. Good situation in Minneapolis. Lab-grown chicken tendies. Oh, I completely forgot about this. Sorry, I am not on my Vyvanse today, folks. I forgot to take my normal pills.
Oh no, not the normal pills.
Took advantage of the terrible Renee Good situation in Minneapolis.
Say Her Name is a movement started by black women, for black women specifically, and it's not appropriate to use in regards to Renee Good.
Huh?
She deserves a hashtag and everything. It should not be Say Her Name. Say Her Name is reserved for black women. This is not for any other...
Tell me you are racist without telling me you are racist. Come on now! What are you doing at this point?
Simple as that.
Say Her Name is specifically reserved for black women.
Really?
For black women.
It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why. I don't know.
I don't know why. That's called white guilt, honey. That's the white guilt you're feeling. It's a...
Yeah. And in case you didn't catch it yet already, I most certainly do not feel guilty being a white fish. Okay? What the hell am I even what is wrong with you people? Why do I need to be guilty just because of the color of my skin? Dude, every human civilization has done terrible things. Every single civilization has done all kinds of evil. Why is it only the white people that's getting all the flack now? It's not like America invented slavery. It's not like the Egyptians didn't have any slaves, or the Chinese, or any African slaves were a thing. It's not like any of those were a thing. Hello? They're like thousands and thousands of years worth of history. Are you really gonna overlook all that just to make a narrative? Really? Come on now.
Amazing. You can literally be killed by the state for the cause. And these fucking people will still disgrace you for the curse of being born Caucasian. This is very woke 1.0. I thought it was dark woke time.
But apparently we have this. Race traitor.
She has achieved the highest honor a white person can achieve. Race traitor. And this type of psychotic rhetoric seems to be working. Because like 70% of the videos I see of people like trying to disrupt...
Didn't Martin Luther King say that he had a dream that not to be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the quality of character? Is that not what he said in a speech? Because I'm pretty sure that's what he said in a speech. And I'm also pretty sure Charlie Kirk said the same thing. What is wrong with you people?
ICE has been white women. White women literally throwing themselves at armed officers like lemmings off a fucking cliff for street tacos. What the hell is going on with white women? Who will save the white race?
Yes, Hitler's strongest soldiers. A Mexican, a Dominican, a black guy, and a looksmaxer.
That looksmaxer is none other than Clavicular. Clavicular
Who is that?
Influencer, live streamer who got his start within the niche red pill communities and has recently blown up to mainstream popularity, especially in right-wing circles. His main claim to fame is looksmaxing. Looksmaxing, for those of you who are employed, is
Hold on, let's see. What is it? Hold on. There we go. Got it all fixed. Yeah, that face is really making me mad.
And a bunch of new Epstein files just dropped. Like lemmings off a fucking cliff for street tacos. What the hell is going on with white women? Who will save the white race?
Yeah.
Yes, Hitler's strongest soldiers. A Mexican, a Dominican, a black guy, and a looksmaxer.
Yeah. I'm sure that he'd be so proud.
The influencer, live streamer who got his start within the niche red pill communities and has recently blown up to mainstream popularity, especially in right-wing circles. His main claim to fame is looksmaxing. Looksmaxing, for those of you who are employed, is...
Looksmaxing is a term for aggressively maximizing one's physical attractiveness through routines like skincare, facial
So, basically, doing extra mascara. I am clearly getting way too old for this. Why? Are we just gonna make new words every year or every week? What is going on here?
exercises, mewing, fitness, and sometimes extreme cosmetic procedures. Originating in online incel forums but popularized on TikTok, focusing on enhancing features like jawline and bone structure.
I personally think it's interesting to see men adopting the insane beauty rituals that women have been doing for decades. But now that a man is doing it, it's seen as psychopathic or gay. A woman will literally spend thousands of dollars on hair, makeup, skincare, peptides, plastic surgery, fillers, Botox, red light therapy, moon water.
I mean, I guess if you could say of I mean, I already hit the gym. And I'm still working out, so there is that, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know.
And we just call her Stacey. But a man does it, and we call him Patrick Bateman. A woman reshapes her entire face with makeup? Normal. A man reshapes his jawline with makeup? Gay. A woman wears a push-up bra to make her tits look bigger? Empowering. A man shoves socks in his shoes to make himself taller? A liar. A woman gets lip filler? Typical.
The double standard is real!
Okay, yeah, that one's a little insane. One of the looksmaxing tips some young men are apparently doing...
No! What are you doing?
And smash the bones in their face to make their face temporarily swell up and allegedly give them that Chad jawline. Honestly, don't knock it till you try it. Here we go.
What? How?
Perfect. So that concludes this episode of the Hell World Report. If you liked it, please subscribe and consider...
Yeah, we're doomed. We are so doomed.
I appreciate it so much. If you don't want to do that, you can also put a little tip down in the tip.
Yeah, we are so cooked. There's no other way around it. We are dead. We are doomed. There is no point. What has this world come to? Well, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz to become a lucky Ammonite today. As always, I'll see you at the next dive, Yenbai, and I need to lie down.
No thanks. Go on. Well, for what it's worth, and at no extra cost, Any maps?
Is that so surprising?
What do you mean?
Are there no mysteries left out there where you came from?
Well, no. There's a lot of things we don't know about in our world.
Well then, this is just another one.
This is your library? It must be centuries old. Look at all these scrolls. I'd love to read some of them.
You might find that a little bit difficult, seeing as they aren't written in English.
Oh. What's he doing?
Dinosaurs hate turning pages. They do their best thinking when their feet are moving.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
No. It's perfectly all right. It was completely my fault.
This dinosaur can talk. Carl, come over here. This dinosaur can talk.
Hello, Zippo. Dertak Almada.
Talk our murder, Marion. David and Carl Street, right? Yes, I can speak English and French. Bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour.
I can understand 17 major human and saurian languages and imitate many natural sounds. I was top of my class.
So how many dinosaurs can talk?
All of them.
But very few learn to speak English properly, if that's what you mean.
How exciting to meet you. You know, I just love mammals.
I have to leave you now. I'm going to speak to the Senate. Goodbye.
Well, wait a minute. Where are we supposed to go? Where are we going to sleep?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd been told. Zippo has kindly agreed to give you temporary accommodation in his house.
Yes.
Bye.
This is delicious.
Your fork, Carl?
Very kind to put us up, Zippo.
Oh, no, not at all. I find...
Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy out here.